Okay, so there is a theorem here. If A be any given square matrix of order n, then A into adjoint of A is equal to adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of A into I, where I is a identity matrix of order n. I is a identity matrix of order n. So you can verify this one here. Therefore, let us consider a matrix A of order 3 here. So therefore A11, A12, A13, then A21, A22, A23, and A31, A32, A33. This is a matrix of order 3 into 3. Okay. Then it's a conjugate adjoint here and adjoint of the matrix. Adjoint of the matrix A is equal to here cofactor of A11 is a capital A11 here. Cofactor of this element is A12. So it is a A12 here. Cofactor of this element A13. A13. Cofactor of this element is A21. A21. Cofactor of this element A22 here. Cofactor of this element A23. Cofactor of this element A31. Cofactor of this element A32. Cofactor of this element A33. Okay. So this is adjoint of the matrix. Adjoint means transpose of the cofactor matrix here. This is a given matrix and it is the adjoint of the matrix here. Just multiply here. A into adjoint of A here. Therefore A into adjoint of A is equal to, so A is this matrix, adjoint of this matrix here. Therefore its multiplication is given by, okay, multiply this row with this column here. A11 into capital A11. A11 into capital A11 plus A12 into capital A12. A12 capital A12. A13 into A13. So plus A13 into capital A13. Okay. Then multiply this row with the second column here. A11 into A21, then plus A12 into A22, A22 plus A13, A13 into capital A3, A23 here. A23. Multiply this row with the second column here. Next multiply this first row with the third column. A11 into A31. A11 into A31 plus A12. A12 into A32 here. A32 plus A13. A13 into A33 here. Capital A33 here. Then multiply this second row with the first column here. A21 into this A11 here plus A22 into A12 here, this element. This into this element here, A23 into A13. Then multiply this row with the second column here, A21 into A21 here, then plus A22 into capital A22 plus A23 into capital A23. Then multiply this row with the third column here. A21 into A31, then plus A22 into A32 plus A23 into A33. Then multiply this third row with the first column here. Okay, so A31 into A11 plus A32 into A12 plus A33 into A13. Then multiply the row with the second column here. A31 into A21 plus A32 into A22 plus A33 into A23. Then multiply this row with the third column here. So A31 into A31 here, then plus A32 into A32 plus A33 into capital A33 here. So this is a matrix here. Okay, so this is a matrix. Then this is equal to, there is a one note here. Two notes are there. Here A11, it's a cofactor is this A1 here. Okay, plus A12 and it's a capital cofactor A12 plus A13 and its a cofactor is A13 only. Therefore, if you choose any row and multiply those elements with their corresponding cofactors, then its sum is always equal to what here? Determinant of here. It is always the value of the determinant of A here. Okay, if you take element here, any row or any column here, I am taking for 2 here. And A11, its a corresponding cofactor is A11. A12 corresponding cofactor is A12. A13 and its a corresponding cofactor A13 only. Then its sum is always the determinant of here. Okay. Then in this case, A11 here, these elements, and the cofactors of the other elements here. So just observe A11 and A21 is a cofactor of this element. A12 here, A12, A22 is a cofactor of this element here. Then plus A13 and the cofactor of this element is A23. In that case, its sum is always 0 here. Okay, it is a 0. So in this also, here also A11 cofactor of the other element here, A12 and the cofactor of this element, then A13 cofactor of this element, then its sum is always what here? 0. Then its sum is 0. A21 is there, A11 is a cofactor of this element, A22, then A12 is a cofactor of this element, A23, then A13 is a cofactor of this element. In this case also, sum is 0. Sum is 0. Here A21, then it's a cofactor A21 only. A21, A21, A22, A22, A23, A23 here. Therefore, in this case, it gives the value of the determinant here. Determinant of A. Then here it is a 0. This is a 0. Even this is also 0 here. And here observe here A31 corresponding cofactor A31 only. A32 and the corresponding cofactor A32 only. A33 and it's a cofactor A33, then its sum is a determinant of A. Its sum is a determinant of A. Okay. Then from this matrix, determinant of a common factor here. So determinant of a common factor here. Then so write here 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 here. Okay, therefore here it is a identity matrix here. Therefore this is equal to determinant of A into I. So just observe it. A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into I. Even we can prove this one. Taking this one here, adjoint of A into A, then multiply it here and simplify like this. Again you will get the determinant of A into I. So this is a very important result here. Okay. Here this proof is not important here, but this is important result. A into adjoint of A is equal to adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of A into I. Where I is the identity matrix here. Okay, here second theorem. If A and B are non-singular matrices of the same order, then A into B and B into A are also non-singular matrices of the same order. Here two definitions are there. Suppose if a determinant of A is equal to 0, determinant of A is 0, then it is said to be singular matrix here. And the determinant of A is not equal to 0, then in that case it is said to be non-singular matrix here. This is a singular when determinant of A is 0, and a non-singular if it is a determinant of A not equal to 0. Therefore, if A and B are non-singular matrices of the same order, then A into B, B into A are also non-singular matrices of the same order. And the third theorem, the determinant of the product of matrices, determinant of product of the matrices is equal to the product of their respective determinants. That is a determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Sometimes we can write like this also. Okay, determinant of A, determinant of A into B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Sometimes you may write like this also. Determinant of A is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B, where A and B are the square matrices of the same order here. So these are the important theorems here. So remark is that if A is a non-singular matrix of order n, then determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 1 here. Okay. So from the theorem 1 here, we know that A into adjoint of A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A 0 0 0 determinant of A 0 0 0 determinant of A. You know this result here from theorem 1 here. You already proved here. Okay. Then taking a model determinant on both sides, taking determinant here. So therefore, determinant of A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of so determinant of A 0 0 0 determinant of A 0 here, then 0 0 determinant of A. Okay, this is a matrix here, and here you are taking a determinant on both sides here. Then from third theorem here, determinant of A into adjoint of A can be written as a determinant of A into determinant of adjoint of A. Okay, so this is equal to from first row determinant of A common, from second row determinant of A common, from third row determinant of A common here. Therefore here determinant of A, here determinant of A, even here also determinant of A. Therefore from all the three rows here taking a determinant of A common factor, hence determinant of A whole cube here into determinant of 1 0 0 0 1 0, then 0 0 1 here. Okay, so determinant of A common factor from each row here Yes, it is a determinant of a whole cube here. Here determinant of a common 1 0 0. Here determinant of a common 0 1 0. Here also determinant of a common factor 0 0 1. Remaining terms here. Now take the determinant of a this side here. And the value of this determinant is 1 here because here these are diagonal elements here. These are diagonal elements. If one side of diagonal elements are 0 here, in that case multiply diagonal elements here. 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 becomes 1. So value of this determinant is 1 here. And take this term right hand side here. So therefore determinant of A is equal to determinant of A whole cube divided by determinant of A. And the value of this is 1 here, then this divided by this here. Okay, sorry, they are not determinant. These are determinant of adjunct of A. Determinant of adjunct of A. Therefore, this is equal to what here? Determinant of adjunct of A is equal to this upon this becomes determinant of A whole square. Here you are taking a matrix of order 3 here. Yes, we get a determinant of adjunct of A is a modulus of or determinant of A whole square. Suppose if a matrix of order n here, if a matrix of order n, then obviously determinant of adjunct of A is equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 1 here. Okay, therefore here it is a matrix of order 3 here. Therefore 3 minus 1 becomes a 2. Yes, a determinant of A raised to 2 here. Okay, so this is a very important for the competitive examination here. Remember it here. So fourth theorem here. So statement of a square matrix A is invertible if and only if A is a non-singular matrix here. If and only if A is a non-singular matrix. Invertible means it has an inverse here. So matrix A has inverse if A is a non-singular matrix here. Non-singular means determinant of A is not equal to 0. If determinant of A is not equal to 0, then only it has an inverse here. So this is a meaning here. Therefore, it is a proof here. Let A be invertible matrix of order n and I be the identity matrix of order n. Then there exists a square matrix B of order n such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I. This is by definition here. Definition of invertible matrix here. According to the definition, there exists a matrix B such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I. Remember it here. In the previous class, I explained here. When we say that the invertible here, if this condition satisfied, then A is a invertible here. Therefore, take only this result AB is equal to I. Even you can take B is equal to I also. I am taking AB is equal to identity matrix I. Taking determinants on both sides here. Taking determinant here. Then according to the third theorem here, determinant of AB can be written as determinant of A into determinant of B, and the determinant of I is always 1 here because here 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 here. Here one side of the diagonal elements are 0 here. Then direct multiply the diagonal elements. 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 is 1. Hence the value of this determinant is 1 here. Okay. Then here its a product is 1 means obviously determinant of A is not equal to 0. Because its a product is 1, then obviously determinant of A cannot be 0. If determinant of A cannot be 0, then A is said to be what here? Non-singular matrix. It is said to be non-singular. Therefore, A is invertible here. A is invertible, then we proved A is a non-singular here. Okay, this is the first case here. Converse pattern. Conversely, okay. Let A be a non-singular matrix. Okay, choose A is a non-singular. Then you prove A is invertible here. Take care. In this case, A is non-singular means determinant of A is not equal to 0. Then according to first theorem here, A into adjunct of A is equal to adjunct of A into A is equal to determinant of A into I. Then dividing each element by determinant of A. So A into adjoint of A divided by determinant of A is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A into A is equal to determinant of A get cancels, remaining only I here. Dividing each element by determinant of A, we get this result here. Therefore, comparing this result with A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I. Here B is this only. B is the adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. And you know that if this condition satisfied here, if this condition satisfied, then it is invertible. Hence, A is invertible. Here B is equal to adjoint of A into determinant of A. Even that B can be written as A inverse here. Okay. So B can be written as A inverse. So hence A inverse equal to what here? Adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Therefore, if A is a non-singular, it is a square matrix of a square matrix A is an invertible if and only if A is a non-singular matrix here. This is an important result here. So every non-singular matrix has an inverse here, and A is invertible, then there should be a singular matrix here. And this is a formula to find the inverse of the matrix. A inverse is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. This is a very important result here. Remember here. Okay. So in the next example, we are using this formula here. If you want to find the inverse of the matrix here, in that case, A inverse equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Use this result. And one more thing, important condition is this here. It should be non-singular. If it is a non-singular, then only it has an inverse. Otherwise, it has no inverse here. Okay, remember.